So I want to talk a little bit about how to change text. This is a rather fundamental concept, but it's easy to overlook and take for granted. And that is the letter C for changing text. And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of ways to do the exact same thing. For example, if I wanted to delete this word single here under my cursor, DW would do that. And then I could use I to go into insert mode and I could type something else here. So I can replace the word with the delete command. I don't ever need to use the change command. However, if I use DWI, that's 3 characters to change the word, whereas I could use C and W here, and then I could just type in whatever I'd like. So that's 1 character less. So I can do the exact same thing with deleting text and then going into insert mode, and that's to use the C command, which not only gets rid of whatever you're targeting, it also then puts you into insert mode right away so you can just start typing. And of course, there are a lot of variations on what you can do with this here. For example, maybe I want to delete the rest of the line. I could do C and then $. And of course, as hard time is mentioning here, that's an inefficient way to do things because instead of doing that, C and $, that's 2 characters, I could just do capital C, and that means delete through the end of the line. Just like if you're using capital D, that'll delete through the end of the line, but it won't put you into insert mode. And so because I use C here, I could just start typing to replace the text through to the end of the line. And then if you'd like to replace the entire line, right from the end of the line, I can just hit CC here. That blows away the entire line. I'm in insert mode, so I can type something to replace it. So that's another helpful shortcut to remember there. So CC, just like DD deletes the entire line, CC does the same thing, and it drops you into insert mode so you can change it then. So if this all sounds great, but you're like me and you're used to using the D or delete command, well, obviously, as you could see there a moment ago, one thing that can help you out if I undo some of this here, instead of doing DWI here, you can see hard time, which I have another video about. It's warning me that I should use CW instead of DWI. So hard time is a great plugin to install. It's got hints for various commands that you can use as alternatives that contain less characters. So that's a great tool to add to your arsenal. That's actually the way that I feel like I've adopted CW instead of DWI. I've adopted that recently just because I get the notification from hard time and then I want to try a different way. Another way you can get some help here, if you just drop down below into the command line and you put in H for help, and then you just type the letter C. That's all you have to type. Just hit return there. So that jumps me into the help pages here. And if I come up a bit here, you can see this is a section called delete and insert. And just in case you're curious here, if you jump up a bit, the section right before this section has to do with just deleting text, and that would be your D command. You can see that right down here. So if I jump back down to delete and insert here, you can see there's the C command. Down below, you've got the CC command. You've also got the capital C. All right, so I'll exit out of that. And then one more thing I want to point out here, there are some motions that you can use to select text. For example, if I'm in the middle of a word and I do CW here, that will be through the end of the word. So change the ending of the word where the cursor is at and thereafter. However, sometimes I'm sitting in the middle of a word, and if I undo this here, maybe I want to replace the entire word. So in that case, I can do C, I, and little w. That will replace the entire word, not just the ending of it. And of course, you could do something like C and then 3 and W to change 3 words instead of 2. Or maybe I want to change everything inside of the parentheses. That's a common operation, especially when it comes to programming languages. In that case here, I can do C, I, and then I can use the parenthesis key here, and that will delete everything inside of the current parentheses. And so if I were to move down here, come over here, I could do CI and then parenthesis in this case. Or you can see nested inside of there are some backticks. Maybe I want to replace everything inside of there. I can do CI and I can do backtick then. That'll delete the contents inside, and I'm sitting in insert mode so I can change it then. And same thing if I jump up here. Maybe I want to change inside of the square brackets. So CI and then the square bracket, and there you go. And then maybe one more thing to mention here, just like with the D command, when it comes to changing text here, if I come up a line here, if I do everything for the rest of this line here with capital C, if I change it, not only does it get rid of the current text, it actually puts it into a register. So you could paste it basically into your clipboard depending on how your registers are set up. So Command V here will insert that then, what I deleted, and I can just insert that multiple times because it's sitting inside of my clipboard in this case.